I've been gaining followers and gaining weight, and I realized I need to do an update video and let you guys know what I have been up to. And I'm about to tell you how unscrupulous I really am. Every single time. This is gonna sound crazy. I'm not getting it. There's something wrong. No, I'm just kidding. But like, no, for real. The last video that I did was on the protest, the Be Free protest in Washington, D.C. last year, and that was in October. So that was about like 8 months ago. And the protest happening for this year, Shun No More 2024, is happening on September 13th. That's going to be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. I've already bought my flight tickets and I will be there, and I'm pretty excited about that. And I have not posted a video since then. I posted some shorts, but not like a long form video. So I do want to give a life update about what's been going on with me and why I haven't been posting consistently, and kind of touching on why like a lot of people in the XJW community who started a channel, and this is like what my observation, and I'm like hypothesizing, I'm not entirely sure, each person's situation is going to be a bit different, but why like people start, you know, in the XJW community, and why they like kind of taper off or drop off and just stop making videos altogether, like me. One of the biggest reasons for that is that we're trying to catch up on things that we didn't get to experience before. That can take time. One, take time to get comfortable with the idea and not feel guilty or bad or have shame behind it. And the second biggest thing I feel is finances, people's financial situations. Like, I am not in an ideal financial situation, and I'm still trying to figure out how to go about that properly for me, okay? In this late stage, or what some people may consider a late stage in life. Now coming out of being in a high controlled group, right? And learning how to do that with the type of person I am. That's a lot to digest, because I'm still digesting it myself after I like realized that, like, okay, there's not anything wrong with me. I'm actually very intelligent, because that was one of the other things. I just thought I was not smart. I did struggle in school, and I didn't understand some of the teachings within the organization of being a Jehovah's Witness. And I was just like, man, something's like not up right there with me, because I'm thinking like, why do I not get certain things? But I just learn a different way. That's why I didn't do super well in public school, but I graduated with a 3.0. But I struggled, you know, it wasn't as easy for me like it was for other people I witnessed. But then I found out a few other things, like people were taking medication to help them focus and stuff like that. Like, I didn't even know that existed. Right? And then like the teachings within the organization, like they were just bold-faced lies, or like not true, or not historically correct. So I'm thinking like, I'm not getting it. There's something wrong. No, there's nothing wrong with me. People were just lying and finessing. So once I realized that, I'm like, okay, you know, I'm clued up to a degree now. So I've been working through that and healing like my money mindset. So I've always been a very optimistic and future focused, and these are new words for me that I've been using consistently in the past 2 years, I would say, is prosperity, abundance, and manifesting. So I'm all about that. When I'm feeling down or depressed or super anxious, I have been making sure that I have flowers in my home to raise the vibrational energy in the space. I play music a lot more. I do not like having the home having dead silence or just like dead sounding energy. I do not like that. So I play like lo-fi music in the house a lot of times. Watching a documentary sometimes really helps me, because it's like I'm stuck on this subject and I need help. And if it's not a documentary, it's an interview, right? Or something on YouTube that will help me figure out a solution, or at least hear someone else who's dealing with the same situation so that I can feel like I'm not an alien, right? And speaking of that, that just reminds me of like why I feel like an alien at times. Like I get very anxious, and I relapsed a total of 4 times between April and this month. Well, this month is now August, so really June. Well, no, I was pulling yesterday too. So I relapsed really heavy. I was taking a risk and changing up my hairstyle. I did that towards the end of May, and I can't say I shouldn't have done that, but it was a learning lesson. I was trying something new, and I was experimenting because I really like to swim in the ocean and in the pool, and I wanted to have a hairstyle that was going to allow me to swim without me not being worried about the missing patches that I do have that I'm still trying to grow back in. And in the midst of me transitioning, if I leave my hair out too long from being out of a wig, then I will pull my hair, right? And I've been dealing with some financial struggles lately, especially in the last 2.5 weeks. So I'm kind of like a little anxious about my money right now, but I usually will have my hair braided down and then under a wig. Last May, I had decided that I was going to try something different, where I was going to have some of my hair out and some of it in hair that was actually really close to my real hair texture. So I was excited about it, but I ended up kind of messing that up because I relapsed in the midst of me doing that, and I ended up pulling a lot of my hair out right here. So right now I'm wearing a headband, so you can't really see it, and then I kind of pull my hair forward to kind of disguise the missing patches that I have right now of hair. Usually I pull like right here, but because now all of my hair is out and I'm just not able to afford getting new hair. Actually, I did end up purchasing a wig, but it's not here yet, and it's been almost 3 weeks. I'm like, what in the world? I don't usually have to wait that long for some hair, but anyway, I ended up pulling right here. And so like now there's a huge spot in the back that's just missing hair, and I'm just like, oh. And I really was thinking like, do I need to cut all my hair off and start over, or just kind of just let the hair grow back in and just kind of, you know, figure that out like that. Look at how long my hair has gotten so long. This is why I was so sad I relapsed. Look at how long. Oh my goodness. And I found out that these like knots, people call them fairy knots that you get like if you have 4C hair like I do. Call them fairy knots. I thought that was so cute. But yeah, usually my hair is braided down in like jailhouse braids, so having my hair out like this is kind of nice, and I'm loving it. I just pick at my hair too much, so I have to braid it back down. I decided to just let their hair grow back in. If I have another huge relapse, then I am going to be cutting it all off, and I just have gotten to the point where I am okay with that. So I was really down and upset and depressed about that. I had a health issue happen. I'm 36 now, and so like my body is just changing, and yeah, I've had my cycle like 3 times, and it's been like about a month now, but I had my cycles 3 times in 1 month, and I've never had that happen before. And so I'm kind of just navigating like what's going on with my hormones and things like that. Also too, I started taking this it's a prescribed medication called spirulactone. So I think that is playing a part. I almost dropped my notes. I think that's playing a part in my hormonal changes. Also too, like I was drinking a lot during the summer because I was going to a lot of events, and it just happened, right? And then I was kind of already struggling with the drinking thing anyway. And then for a while I had it stopped. Then I picked it back up. Then I stopped. Then I picked it back up again. And I just know I have a very addictive personality. When I drink alcohol, it does trigger my anxiety. I wrote a couple of notes, so I'm just like going through everything. So, yes, I've been working on being consistent and disciplined and working on my time management. It may not look like that because y'all are not witnessing that in my day-to-day life, but behind the scenes, you know, and I'm having hiccups. Yeah, I've had quite a few hiccups, but I have been getting back up and getting back on track, so to speak. And yeah, I'm still all over the place, but I'm getting better with getting back on track. I've gained 2 new mentors. So one of the mentors, both of them came out of nowhere and they both came around the same time, right? So I have a mentor for my 501c3, and then I have a mentor for my LLC. And I'm meeting up with my mentor for the second time for the nonprofit next week. Okay. And then on the LLC side, somebody watched my interview that I did with Awaken Truths, Lexi and Jevin, and they reached out to me and was like, hey, like, I like how you are, and I see that you have something going on here. Like, what are your goals? And I would love to help you. He's been helping me figure out like which way I need to go, because he sees that I'm all over the place, which I am very aware of that. And it's kind of funny because we have a lot of, we have a good time, I'll say that. Also too, the kids just started school, right? Oh, last week I went to an XJW meetup, and that was really nice. That was really nice. A lot of people came. Some people came from really far away too. One guy came all the way from, I think he said North Carolina. And he says that he goes to different XJW meetups, even if they're out of state. So he makes a point to go and do that. There was a lot of food. We took a group picture. It was really nice. I got some video clips of that, but I didn't like want to just have my camera out like that, because some people don't want to be, you know, on video and then be posted somewhere. So I'm very mindful of that. I got my Tik Tok Shop up and running. I had it before, then they closed it down on me with very little reason. Then I got it open back up. So I'm excited about that. I actually sell these handcrafted pins. It's the Pretty and Pink Pom-Pom pin that's inspired from that show Clueless. Yeah, I just like this. So I've been doing this for a really long time, and then so many people like asked me about them, then I just started selling it on Etsy. So I still sell them on Etsy, but now on Tik Tok Shop as well. So that's a new thing, so I'm really happy and excited about that. I did get some interesting news about my job. So my job right now, my main source of income, okay, I am a home manager / live-in nanny, and so I don't know if I'll still be doing that. To be determined. To be determined. I pivot well. And I always get by the skin of my teeth. I don't know how, but I end up doing it because I just don't overly worry about things that I can't control. I just do the things that I know I need to do and that I actually can do and that I am in control of. So I know I naturally have been like that, but I know that's a struggle for other people. But that's what I do, and I always end up coming out clean every freaking time. I even surprise myself. Like, I remember growing up, my mom would be like, you always get by the skin of your teeth. And like, every time she said that, I'd be like, yeah, I actually really do. I really do. For the summer, I went on 4 trips. So I went to Tybee twice. I went to Wisconsin. Okay, that was really nice. It was like Sister Bay area of Wisconsin. And that was a very new experience. And then I also went to Alabama. I went out a lot, I relaxed a lot, and saw a lot. So that was cool. I've been watching quite a few documentaries and interviews. And this one interview on the Diary of a CEO on YouTube, that's the channel name, the Diary of a CEO. And he interviewed I forget who he interviewed, but the guy he was interviewing said that like basically we don't have free will the way that we think that we do, something of that nature. If I can find the clip, I'll post the clip.
Personal responsibility. Does it exist? Well, in order to exercise personal responsibility, first you have to exercise free will. That's a prerequisite. So we can get into this, and we probably would need about 6 hours. Okay, and we don't have it. But do we have free will? Yes or no?
Well,
complicated question.
It's a complicated question, and it's one I've actually been researching this week, funnily enough, for a different project that I'm working on.
Okay.
And I was trying to get to a point where I had a solid answer. Now, there's a couple of schools of thoughts here. One school of thought, when we look at the neurological processes, might suggest, and there's some early studies that suggest that we have much less free will than we assume because things happen in our brain before we make a decision. There's some studies there. But do we have free will to make our own decisions? I think we have a lot less free will than we think.
We have very little free will, if at all. Here's the best way to think of it. Arthur Schopenhauer, famous German philosopher, famously said, "You are allowed to do what you want, but you are not allowed to want what you want." Those things are actually predetermined. So you have choice in whether you want the candy bar or the ice cream, but you don't have choice about the fact that your nucleus accumbens is raging, saying, "Give me sugar." That's the choice. The choice is how you satisfy the biochemical drive. But the biochemical drive is way beyond free will. So the question is, if you don't have free will, how can you exercise personal responsibility? Because that's a prerequisite in order to be able to do that. Because personal responsibility says, take the risks, suffer the consequences. But if you can't control the risks or the consequences, how can you exercise personal responsibility? I have just shown you that the behaviors associated with obesity, the gluttony and the sloth, are actually secondary to the biochemistry, which you have absolutely no control over. In fact, we have no ability to be able to mitigate that, and that's why we have this obesity pandemic, and diet and exercise hasn't solved it for just that reason.
So who do we need to point the finger at? Who needs to resolve the issue?
Well, it has to be resolved at several levels. It has to be resolved for the public. That's why you and I are doing this podcast now, because they have to understand what's really at issue. Okay? Blaming the victim has never worked. When did it work? Did it work for HIV? Did it work for tobacco? It never worked. Okay? Every personal responsibility issue becomes a public health crisis because personal responsibility hasn't solved any of them. It's a loser. It's a loser in terms of its mechanism, and it's a loser in terms of its efficacy.
So moving forward, I think what I'm going to do is post the content I already have recorded, because I have over, this is gonna sound crazy, I have over 4 terabytes worth of content that I have not ever posted. It's never before seen footage. So, and it's from like years ago, not even, no. Like I know 1 terabyte was just last year, okay? But then I also have content from the year before, and then a little bit from before then. And yeah, I have a lot of content. So what I'm gonna do is just post vlogs from previous times and kind of just like slowly, gradually get caught up. Starting from January of this year, January of 2024, I'm gonna do a vlog of that and do a flashback of January 2023. Okay, kind of like that, to kind of just get caught up. That's the goal. We'll see. Okay, because like I said, I'm working on discipline, consistency, and time management, because I gotta focus well, I'm being told that I gotta focus on one thing, okay? But I just have so many desires, okay? And so I can't promise I'm gonna work on one thing. It's just not going. I know myself. I'm not gonna work on one thing. I'm gonna end up working on 2.5 things. That's what's gonna end up happening. Even though I have like 7 things I'm trying to work on, I'm gonna focus on like 2.5 things. And a lot of the things that I have been working on, I already have like bits and pieces, like already I got a lot of the meat of it. I just need the sides, so to speak, and then like the consistency of providing those full course meals every single time. Okay, in addition to the vlogs, I feel like people like the storytime videos. I'll be doing more content on my hair because I'm also catering to 2 different communities. So not just the XJW community, but also the Trichotillomania community. And that's a lot to say. If you have a video suggestion, let me know. But yes, if you are able to make it to the protest, I would love to see you there. A lot of awesome people showed up last year. I feel like we're going to get a new wave of people showing up this year. And yeah, shun no more 2024. I want to end this video off with a question because this question was asked to me at the XJW meetup, and I like this question. I was asked, what was the first thing I did when I like fully came out and left as a JW? And I remember my answer was, because I didn't think about it too long and I wanted to just give an answer, and I said that I went and got a new piercing. And then other people said they got like a tattoo, or they went and, you know, shot guns or whatever. So I'm curious as to what, you know, the people who has actually like left, you know, the organization, what did you guys go and do that you weren't allowed to do before as a Jehovah's Witness? Like, because I did quite a few things. Looking forward to reading all your comments, but until then, I'm really trying to figure out how to end this video. I then got up and left and walked away and everything, but yeah, until next time, bye.